Welcome, Watchers of Illusion, to my Castle of Confusion. Looking at another indie game on the ZX Spectrum. It is, I tell you what, the 8-bit systems at the moment are going absolutely nutso, and this is great. This is a game called Angels, and it's basically a side-scrolling beat-em-up, and we will get into that, but this is the story. So basically it's like two fugitives, and their punishment, their punishment is to be sent to Earth. Oh dear. So yes, it's a, like I said, it's a beat 'em up with a bit of a difference. I'm going to get stuck into this as soon as the intro is finished. There's no sound in the intro, but here they are with their massively long skirts on, or dresses. Nothing changes much in the future, eh? Oh, they've got to get undressed and get into these pods. Right, so basically these are your characters, which this is a 1 or 2 player game, and it's rather lovely. But we shall see as we get into the review, I suppose, how good or bad this actually is. So let's get on. The presentation is absolutely spot on. So we can define our keys. We can go 1 or 2 player. Don't know if that's 2 player as in like simultaneously. I don't know. So very Double Dragon at the moment. I like this quite already. I mean, this reminds me sort of like it's a cross between Double Dragon and Shadow Warriors on the ZX Spectrum, which is great because both of those games are pretty good, to be fair. Right, so this is the first character that we have. This is Kira that we're playing as now, and we've got Rika as well on the opposite side of the screen, as you can see. But holy, this is really quite nice. The graphics are really nice. The sprites are huge, and there's no slowdown, which is great. I love the fact that these guys sort of like just amble onto the screen. Like there we go, we've got Mr. That looks like the Undertaker from the WWE there. Just put my phone on silent because we can't be doing a dinging all the time as we go through this. Skateboarders, absolute scum. Let's get rid of them right now. So dishing out the feminine justice. Oh, that's nice. So you can backflip with this girl. So that's cool. So yeah, basically you've got to get from one end of the screen to the other. Okay, let's have a look at the UI. There's quite a pretty UI actually, which is nice. So in the bottom left-hand corner you can see my health for this character. In the bottom right is the character health for Rika, which is cool. And I will explain what's going on in a minute because there's some quite interesting game mechanics here. Now the only thing that I'm going to say straight off the bat is that these characters seem to get energy drained really quickly. Now whether that's going to be a factor in the game I don't know, but we do have 8 lives. And we can do fireballs. That's quite cool. So in the bottom centre you can see that I think is that our score. Then we've got our lives above that, and then above that is a meter which builds up as you beat the crap out of people. And then you can execute this sort of special move type thing which you saw a second ago by holding down the fire button. And then there we go. This is the unique thing. So if I press H on the keyboard like I just did then, you'll take over as playing with Rika. So basically you can see that Kira has no health, or little to no health. So swapping out gives you basically a brand new character and brand new life, and completely different moves. This one doesn't do the backflip. I think she's got like a flying kick type thing. She's got sort of that X-Men rogue kind of thing about her, I think, there, which is really quite nice. There you go, there's the flying kick. Just really, this is a nice game. Look at the lighting going on the side of that building to the right there. That's really quite cool. It was lit up a moment ago. I don't know what the... those damn skateboarders. Look how much Look as the cars go past. It highlights the building. That is class. But yes, the energy drain or hit point drain on this is a little bit excessive, I think. If they could just trim that back a little bit, I think that this game would be a lot better. But you can see you're just getting the absolute poo kicked out of you quite easily. But there are some nice moves in this. Now, believe it or not, this actually works on a 48K. This is the 128K version we're playing here because it's got the in-game music and all that stuff with it. So that's nice, and it's got more moves. The 128K, I believe, has more moves. So you've got your punches, you've got your kicks, you've got your crouch kicks, and you've got this roundhouse kick that happens when you turn around and obliterate people in the face, which is nice. I like the fireball technique as well. That's quite nice. This is the only time of artifacting I've actually noticed as well, is when there's something in front of people, like those purple stairs, and then you see the blocking around the actual characters. But you know what? I can forgive that because, well, I mean, it's pretty damn good. It is. It's very nice, very smooth as well. Now, the only thing with this is, well, I'm probably going to be saying this about any kind of game, but once you got surrounded, you've got to be careful. There's a health potion-y thing there, which it restored me to almost full, and I'm almost back down to where I was before I took it, so that gives you an idea of just how hard these buggers hit you, which is a bit of a shame. I think if those could be scaled back just slightly, that would make a big difference. Also, things don't stay on the screen very long, so like that cache that was just on the screen just now, it doesn't stay on the screen overly long for you to go and collect it. Now, that could be a bit of a problem when you've got health potions on the screen and you try and go up to get them and they disappear. Talking of health potions, they are few and far between, and I do mean few and far between. So we've got to be careful with that. That barrel hit me like a son of a gun. Now, what I like about this is when you lose a life, you don't restart from the beginning of the level. You come back as where you were, exactly where you are, and you carry on. So the fluidity is nice of that, and it's a rather nice sort of idea, really. Whereas normally, if you lose a life, what do you do? I suppose beat 'em ups you do. You get up and you carry on from where you were. But it's quite nice just to have that continue. You know what I mean. Continuity, that's the one. Yeah, so things are a bit hard to avoid sometimes. Like say you've got punches and you've got kicks and you've got this sort of backflip thing that you can do with Kira, which doesn't always work in your favour, I might add. Now the lives are shared between the two characters, so you've got to be careful. Use a combination. What I found is use a combination of standing and ducking, and that tends to be quite beneficial. You can see my special move meter is charged, so we can use that whenever I want to by holding down the fire button in the direction that I want it to go. Now, if you hold down the fire button and you have attackers coming in from the other side, you cannot change direction to launch the fireball in a different direction. So just be aware of that when you're going through the game. But let's move on to controls. Controls are really nice. Up and down. Down is duck, obviously. Up is, well, it's jump in this case, but backflip on the other one. Left and right. And holding down fire and doing a direction will do various different things, which I'll leave for you to find out because, well, I don't want to do all of this for you, so it's nice for you to discover these things yourself. But yeah, the controls are quite nice, they're tight, they work. There's slight clipping issues, which I found with this game. Just as we're going along, you can probably see them for yourself. Sometimes the hitting is quite solid, and other times it looks like you're hitting, but you're actually not hitting them at all. So just slight collision detection problems there, but nothing that is going to ruin the game at all. So massive thumbs up to this. Now this game was released at the tail end of last year, so like literally the tail end of last year. I think it was, I think possibly released on the 31st of December, something like that. It was definitely at the end of last year. So, oh god, it only seems, I can't believe you're saying last year, and we're only like a couple of days in through this year. It's a bit strange. It's very weird saying last year. It was only a few days ago, but hey, never mind. Anyway, I hope you're doing all very well and enjoying these retro indie games. I will be taking a break from indie retro games after this one. I'm going to be looking at a cult Amiga classic after this one. Because I've been watching Cobra Kai Season 4, I mean, maybe you can figure out what game I'm going to be playing next just by that clue. I'll put something up later on. I've already sort of had a go at it, so this is a game going back to my childhood. I loved it, and I'm sure you guys, if you've played it before, will agree it's an absolutely great martial arts game. That's all I'm saying. Now this is quite cool. If you look at the spaceship here, this is like an interim, sort of travelling to a different destination type interim part of your game here, where we're taking out the USS Enterprise there for no apparent reason. But look at the graphics on the actual spaceship. That's really cool, because if you look in the centre, that's our little person right in the middle. Yes. And the trailblaze on the back of the spaceship is absolutely incredible. Love that. Really nice. Sort of a nice little interim level, really, which is cool. It's nice to have something a bit different that sort of breaks up the beat 'em up sort of stages of this, which is, you know, it's not a bad thing. Because you've just gone through a level of punching the hell out of people, so now we're going to travel in style to the next destination, and yeah, in our spaceship. So that's cool. I absolutely love the trail blaze on the back of this spacecraft. It's really, really nice looking. I don't know whether in 2-player mode that the player 2 has a different colour. I mean, I think it was red or something in the intro. So, and here is I'm guessing this is a boss character, but it looks like you can destroy his wings and the front part. So we'll just carry on. We'll just carry on and we'll just beat him up. Oh, so I'm going to shoot him up. So yeah, it's quite nice to have a shoot 'em up and a beat 'em up, whatever we want to call it. And nice little cutscenes as well, which is really nice. Not quite sure why they're nude, but hey, each to your own. I like the fact that each one's got a different hair colour as well. They've done a really good job with this. Very impressed. Sound is great as well. You've got in-game noise and you've got music as well. So if you're a 128K user, you're going to have an absolute blast with this. 48K users, I think there's a level load after the first 3 levels. So it's got quite a lot in it before you even have to worry about slamming on that tape and loading the next part in. But 128K users, I do believe it loads in the entire game in one shot. So if you are using a 128K, then you are in for a treat, because it gives you the entire shebang of the game all in one go. So there we are. So playability wise, well, it's very playable. I mean, it's very nice. It's very up-to-date beat 'em up, which is nice, but it also has those tones of Double Dragon and Target Renegade and other kind of games of that ilk, because, well, why not? If you're gonna do a game based on those kind of games, it might as well be them, because they're some of the best. Why is there a palm tree in the middle of that house? Never mind. So we got Indiana Jones now, with his whip coming to be kinky and all. But yeah, I see that backflip works quite nicely. The transformation between the two girls works really nicely as well. Quite impressed. In fact, no, I'm very impressed. Like I say, just these last couple of bits that I would like them to maybe do as in maybe another version. Just slightly less hit points being taken when you get mullered, and also just to leave things on screen a little longer, and perhaps just tweak the collision detection just a touch. It doesn't need much, just a little bit. Replay value, well, yeah, of course you're going to come back to it. If this is, and I think this is 2 players at once if you pick the 2-player option, because this is the 1-player version or 1-player mode. I think you could probably have quite a lot of fun if it's 2 players in one go. So why not grab a friend and try? If not, then turn-based works for me. But it would be a lot more fun with 2 of you on the screen at once, because that I think would be quite cool, considering that you have 2 girls. I mean, you know, Target Renegade had 2 players at once. Double Dragon had 2 players at once. Actually, did the Spectrum? I can't remember. Maybe not. But you know, it did have 2 players. Maybe just not on the Spectrum version. So, but yeah, it works well. The combat's nice and fluid. You've got, and it doesn't give you too many enemies at once to deal with, which is quite nice. Because let's face it, it would be very, very frustrating to say the least if you're just getting completely smacked down from left, right, and centre. So it's quite fair, but you can see now we're down to 2 lives already, so you just got to be a bit careful on how many hits you take. But the ducking and the punching seems to work to a degree. I love how all these characters are pretty much the same, depending on what part of the world you're in. But yeah, word has it that because I think the next stage might be Russia, I think you do get to fight bears. Wait, so not spoiling too much. I'm going to let you guys go ahead with that one. Anyway, age range is pretty much any, because there's no naughty bits in it, and there's no sort of there's no graphical violence. It's just a good old-fashioned side scroll and beat 'em up, and then a shoot 'em up to get from the next stage, which is really nice. So big up to the developers, well done. You can get this for free, so I will provide a link in the description, so make sure you go ahead and go and grab a copy. Works on physical media as well as emulators, so there you go. Go and there's no excuse for you not to be having a go at this. If you've got no Spectrum, go and get a emulator. They're not hard to find, just Google is your friend, as always. Anyway, guys, that's it from me. I will be back again with another review and the Amiga next time, and I shall hope you will enjoy it very much, because I know I do. It's a great game. Anyway, until next time, my friends, you keep it retro, and as per always, it's bye for now. Ta-ta!